Hi, my name is Fred Von Canon. I'm the founder and owner of Maverick Solutions. We've been doing corporate training for enterprise business software clients for over 20 years.
Hi, my name is Greg George. I'm Vice President of Sales and Marketing here at Maverick, and I have been selling and marketing technology for about 15 years.
What is a digital adoption platform? Well, a digital adoption platform is a software platform that allows you to overlay an enterprise business system like an Oracle or Workday or SAP or Salesforce with some software on top of it that allows different things to happen, allows you to have little pop-ups, a task list, things that can actually, it looks like it's almost in the software that you're doing or on your operating system, but it's a separate overlay. But with that, you can do a lot of things with digital adoption. So that's kind of it's a software platform that allows you to embed and into a live system some cool things that will help you kind of as guardrails or help direct you through a system.
Yeah, I think something we see a lot or hear a lot is companies that are implementing digital adoption platforms is that they want their users to be able to get help in the moment. And the challenge is if I'm a user, not being able to access help or having to request a support ticket and waiting 24 hours for that to come around, it's not a good use of my time. And if I'm in my day-to-day activity, need help in the software, the digital adoption platform enables the users to be able to get that help right at the moment and then be able to immediately do whatever task that they were trying to do in the first place. So it's a great scalable way for companies to adopt software without a lot of change management and support.
And in the support realm, a lot of times it was early on called performance support. And so if you think about it from that standpoint, it takes a lot of the help desk, level 1 help desk tasks away if you do this correctly. If you find that there's a lot of errors or a lot of people stopping at a certain point in a transaction because they don't know what to do, you can have a little pop-up there. You can have a little thing that'll just say, hey, use this code or something here, or don't use this or something. You can do some things there that would help save a lot of hassle on your support team. So it's performance support is another name for digital adoption, and I think I like that name a lot because it talks about the support aspect of it.
And in a layman's terms kind of scenario, it's like GPS. You want to go to a destination you've never been to. You don't need to know how to fix your car. You don't need to know how to operate the GPS system. You just need to know how to put the address in and get there. And that's what the digital adoption allows you to do, is to get where you need to go with as few or as little effort as possible.
What are the people using digital adoption for? They're using it for training sometimes, real-time training on tasks that you do very infrequently and you might not remember exactly how to do it. They're using it for onboarding. They're using it for level 1 support, help there to keep people from using the help desk. That's probably the big reasons that people use digital adoption platforms.
I think the clients that we work with typically have thousands of employees, and the challenge they run into is scaling out enablement on these big complex systems, Oracle for example, or SAP or Salesforce, where the users might not instinctively know where to go and how to operate. So digital adoption allows a very easy to stand up, hands-free sort of version of training in the moment, and to Fred's point, it reduces tickets dramatically, allows the software and the users to get up to speed more quickly than they would be in having to rely on in-person training or days of video kind of support. And from an enterprise point of view, the quicker that user can get up to speed with their day-to-day job in a new system, the faster they are going to be able to generate revenue and to be more effective as an employee. Yep. So it's a big lift. Maverick's Engage Live platform is different from other digital adoption solutions because we have content to support these other enterprise applications that we are doing training for. Specifically like Oracle, as you go into an Oracle environment and want to have digital adoption associated with that, it requires a lot of uplift in order to create the content and the workflows that the user needs to understand how to do their job. What Maverick provides as part of our solution is that we have the content and the services that support and will build out all of those workflows that come inside the digital application platform itself, so that when you turn it on, the user automatically has thousands of unique workflows associated with Oracle, and they can immediately start to do their job. And that's a big important factor as we look at what's across the marketplace. And buying just a digital adoption tool is great. If it doesn't have any content, it doesn't have a lot of value. So that's a really big factor in what Maverick's doing in relation to digital adoption solutions.
As it relates to our competitor, Oracle University, specifically their Oracle Guided Learning Platform, a couple things I want to point out. One is that their platform is, and how ours is different, is that it doesn't just work on Oracle. Most clients don't just have one enterprise system. They might also have Workday. They might also have Salesforce or ServiceNow or some other enterprise systems. We can go to those systems and work seamlessly with them, where guided learning is meant for Oracle software. The other thing too is we have our learning platform that has thousands of simulations that are outside the system in our Engage platform, and what we are able to do is link to the two, link back and forth, which again Oracle doesn't have that same capability because they don't have those assets outside. So we have a more robust offering inside because we add to what we have with the live back over to the learning platform, so it ties in with that. And it also can go onto other business systems and not just be dedicated to Oracle. So those are a couple of big differences as well.
Yep. I think that to add to what you said a little bit, the digital adoption solution is a great end user application for many users to use at one time. When you think about having thousands of users in a system and they start to play around and input data into your systems, it can impact the business in a negative way. So to Fred's point, the learning platform that we have is a simulated environment of something like Oracle or Salesforce or Workday. The users can get over there, they can link to it from the digital adoption platform, they can get into the simulation, play around, input as much data as they want. Impacts the system zero because it's simulated, it's completely freestanding, and doesn't impact the deployment at all. So it's a really cool round trip kind of an experience for the user because they can get in the real system and do what they need to do, and if they're not quite sure, they can go to the simulated environment and play around without messing anything up. So it's a really good kind of blend or union of playground environment versus the real thing. So.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits to a digital adoption solution, and we talked earlier about the benefits of less trouble tickets or less support tickets on your team. When the user can get help in the moment, it really allows them to get it. Then they don't have to wait on an answer. They can see exactly what to do in real time, and I think that's critical as you want. Especially with new software, you want users to get up to speed and as competent as possible, as quickly as possible. Digital adoption is one of the best, probably the best way to do that. In addition to that, as we talk about SaaS and software as a service, enterprise level, you've got updates that happen just all the time. A big challenge we hear with our clients is keeping up to date with what is changing in the system. Even with outages, if you've got a system that you're putting down for the evening because you need to make a patch or you need to do something, we're going to have maintenance for 6 hours. Digital adoption can allow you to display those outages and those downtimes to every user in the environment. In addition to that, when an update happens, a button or functionality may move, it may go away, it may be replaced with another color or another feature or something like that, and digital adoption is the the easiest way to announce to users, hey, this changed and now it was over here and now it's up here. So it's a really simple way to deploy communication across all your users and really keep them up to speed with what's happening in the environment without them having to go to training every other day.
I'm thinking here also of data validation. You go in to put data into a field. You can have the digital adoption platform live, in our case, actually go and check behind the scenes. It knows who you are and where you are in the system, and so it can go and determine, are you able to create a PO for that amount? Is this a valid field? Your field should start with, it should be all numeric or all character? Is it that, that type of thing, that it can extend some of the functionality of the Oracle or other software by doing that data validation and really it's a way of implementing business rules. If you have things that you want to make sure happen or don't happen that Oracle isn't doing, you can do it literally on top of Oracle, and it really extends that functionality, and it's really a great place to do it in the live system.
Where have I seen companies struggle with implementation without digital adoption? That's a great question, and I think that looking at the organizations that I've been a part of or worked with, there's a very big trend going on with the need for implementation help, the time of need. Users need something right now for a particular function or a particular workflow, and it makes me think about this Gartner quote that I've heard several times before, but 25% of companies fail, 50% of companies struggle because of the lack of training and enablement that comes along with an enterprise implementation. I think that's very true, probably even more substantial than what we think, because these companies are worried about the implementation of the software, but they're not thinking about their users at the end of the day. And without a digital adoption solution, I've seen more times than I'd like to think of where you've got this new announcement, the software is here, and we've set it up, have at it, jump right in, and you end up with this huge tidal wave of issues where users of all shapes and sizes don't know exactly what to do. They don't know how to log in properly. They don't know how to configure their profiles properly. And before you know it, you've created a train wreck of data, train wreck of user experience, and ultimately the user experience relays over to employee experience. And as you frustrate your employees enough by doing this over and over again, you're going to have some attrition and additional heartaches because of that.
Yeah, typically on a go live, you might have a training team sticking around for a month after go live to just walk around and help people, and this is a great substitution for that, because it's real live, it's in the system, it just walks you through it. So it's a game changer for how implementations and and users from the implementation are trained. And even going forward, if you think about it, we're talking more like right at go live where it's kind of whoa, but fast forward 6 months and you're doing a year-end close, or you're doing an expense report, or you're doing something that you don't very often do, then this is even better, for that, because you don't have to, you're not going to remember the training that you had. And to have somebody walk over to help you or to look at something, this is just an easy way to just walk you through step by step. So it fills several needs that we've had in implementation training for decades.
Yep. And I think looking to the future, something that we're seeing now that companies are doing that is more consistent than it was, is that they're enabling digital adoption inside their own software. For companies that are not doing that or cannot do that, the future is very bright for digital adoption. There is a huge need. It saves so much time, and the cost to deploy it versus the cost to do training at scale for thousands of users for a big system with a lot of functionality is pennies on the dollar. So the ROI behind digital adoption is huge.
And the sustainment of that, again, you've got all this big training effort and the standard way of doing training. but it just doesn't sustain. You can't continue that. But
That's
this
true.
digital adoption is just there, and it's always there, and it can be updated like that. So
Yeah.
it's a much better solution.
And to add to that, I think as we progress in the world of technology in general, the update cycles for a lot of these big softwares will become faster and more
Tighter.
consistent. And so as those changes happen, it's going to be more prevalent, more required to have something that is in the moment anytime that you need it, every single day.
The features for a DAP that clients should look for, there's some, some big ones. Flexibility of the application, the different types of things that you can do with it, from pop-ups to messaging to task lists. The ease of development. You've got to be able to create these flows, walkthroughs, and things. So you've got to be able to have a platform that does that easily. After you're using it, analytics are probably one of the more important things.
Mm-hmm.
So robust analytics to be able to see what you are, see what your users are doing and maybe not doing, and to really see where the stopping points are. That's sometimes from that help support type thing that we've talked about. Where are they jumping off because they don't know how to finish the task? That's a good point to see. So some robust analytics. What else?
I think you covered most of it. I think it's important to notice or pay attention to the ability to go enterprise-wide across multiple applications. So, if you've got a digital adoption solution that only works off of one system, that's not going to help you a whole lot. Something that we are really excited about is our ability to go application to application. So if you have a workflow process that links between, say, Oracle and Workday and ServiceNow or Salesforce, like, you can build that process across all three applications and make it seamless. So most digital adoption solutions should do that, but that's a big factor. The analytics piece is huge, and I think it's kind of a growing segment of the digital adoption kind of framework or architecture, is to be able to see, how far a user gets. If you've got a group of users that are associated with accounting, and you build out a process that is a heavy accounting process, how many of them got in there and actually finished it? That's an important thing. So either if they don't finish it, they're either not going in it or it's too complicated to work. So then you can go back and look at, is this workflow right for us? Do we need to make it easier? Do we make it shorter? And from an enterprise point of view, it's really important to be able to have that knowledge of what's going on inside the user's mind as they're going through your systems. So,
Greg, tell them how they can reach us.
Sure. So if you'd like to learn more about Engage Live or Maverick Solutions, please visit us on our website at mavericksolutions.com. Thanks for watching.
There you go.